Hello. Today I want to speak about birds. Birds have power. They have authority. The way a person has power and authority. Then birds are God's creation to move in the air, and they are those that walk on land. So God gave a person power and authority to rule the birds. So the person is a controller of birds in living, taking care of them according to their kinds. Genesis 7 from 13 to 16. So there are good birds that are committed to the Lord, and there are also evil birds that are committed to Satan's power. You may have a look at the dove that came on Jesus' head when he was baptized. That is a better dove. Another dove was sent by Noah to go and investigate if the land was dry, if the rain had stopped raining. So birds speak. A raven was sent to Elijah to take food, to take meat for him while he was fasting. So the birds speak. The birds talk. They communicate. Although if you look at them, you may see they are not communicating. But those deep occult Indians, they know birds speak. So birds are fruitful and increase in number. Genesis 9 from verse 1. And they are food to a person. They have meat, they have blood, they have life in them. They are accountable. They are accountable for their actions. So evil birds are used satanically by Satan. Like the crows. The crows are used, the owls, most of the time they are used badly. They are used satanically. They are used in occultism. So here we should be very much alert that we are entering into a very dangerous period of time, that things are going to happen. Man has a ruler of birds, is their king, because he's the controller. He can decide to make a feast of laughter by using birds. But what does he do? The deep secret is such birds are given wine spiritually to get drunk, to have a good time rather than a good living. They are given spells, they are given omens. They feed on them first before they go for their services. So they are used to carry words and report what is said. So such as owls, as parrots, as doves are tamed. Even hens, we tame them in the houses. But the doves, the parrots that can speak, you find that they are tamed by Indians for such services. Read Ecclesiastes 10:20. Because they are to give information, they are to give the deep secrets of whatever is happening in such a place. So such people are always far away from receiving the truth. They don't know what is happening in that place. So how can they get the information? Because they cannot enter Statehouse, but they can get certain secrets from that place. And since they don't have people to give them the information, then they decide to use the bird power to collect deep informations, especially from kings, especially from princes, from palaces, from Statehouse, from even official offices. So such people you see them to be of noble character, but it is just for strength and not for anything else. So the birds used, they have courage. They have power, they have authority to go as servants. They're used as servants to go. They can either fly up in the air or they enter the houses. That's why you find a bat that faces down is also another one that is used evilly by witches and witchcrafts, by evil people. So most of the time you find a fool's work worries him or her. Because what is happening in that house? What is happening in that place? And yet I don't want to be familiar to that place because I cannot enter it. I'm not allowed to enter that place. So how will I get the information? How will I get the information? Can you read Ecclesiastes 10 verse 15? It is speaking clearly. The Lord is telling us that a fool's work worries him, for he doesn't know the way to town. Is it really the way to town? No, it means he doesn't know the really thing that is happening in such a place. So how will that person know it? Such people don't know what is coming. Who can tell them what is coming, or who can tell them or what will happen? Read verse 14. So their work is to multiply words. Such birds multiply words. So they consume by their lips and they bring the information to their senders. So the Lord says they lack senses and show everyone how they are stupid. So I don't know who sends birds to such places, because that person is not righteous. That person is not of God. Must be an occultism person, must be an evil person. And such people are not righteous. So remember, Statehouse, from the word go, when it was built, it was not built on a better foundation. It was built on an occultism foundation. So strong evil principalities, strong powerful altars were planted in that premises, which carried some rituals with the white and black poles from India. That's why Goddess Ambe, who is the god of wars and revolutions, is really busy working in most countries, especially the 26 countries that Satan had tampered with. So whoever is against the principalities of Goddess Ambe is an opposer of her, is an enemy. But whoever is for those principalities, then that person must be loved by the people, because the spirit that was being released was just love, but it was not services. The services were there being done, yes, but what was ahead of the leader's services was just love. But if you are an opposer, whatever is always ahead of you is hatred, is envy, is jealousy. And that's why Satan had to give Kenya a foundation of Harambe, the word Harambe. And the people used to say Nyayo. So if you don't use that word, you are an enemy. You are a great enemy. But maybe the people knew or the people did not know. I don't know. Because the altar was to be for brotherhood, and this was a deep secret long time ago. So that's why the spirit of hatred is released to those who don't follow the Nyayo. The spirit of hatred is released. The spirit of envy, spirit of revolution, spirit of wars, fightings and quarrels is released to such people. So they are not seen as important people. They are not honored. They are not respected. But the Lord is with us. The power has no chance to manifest in the nation. It has no chance at all to manifest in the nation anymore, because the Lord is in control. The Lord is trying to renew everything so that the land may be renewed, so that Jesus may come back to rule the earth, to be the king of all the kings. Who are the kings? The presidents. But you find that the evil principalities, they are at work. And since they are at work and they don't know exactly what is happening in some places, they have to use the power bird. They have to give the bird's authority the power to go and send them the way you send a normal messenger. So these are messengers, these are servants of the demonic powers. So when they try to use the president, but the president is not on their side, then there's no success. They try to use the youth for wars and revolutions, but they don't succeed. They try to use senior politicians, but nothing is working. They try to use the spirit of envy, hatred, and conspiracy, but it's all fruitless. Now, what is next? Next is influence. Like right now in Kenya, the influence is 1 term, while others, the influence is 2 term. But you may find that whatever the influence is, it's not working. So what will be next? Next is worries, for the principalities doesn't know the way, the truth, and life in the palace. They don't know exactly what is happening in Statehouse, because no one is there to tell them anymore. Maybe all the conspirators, they are no longer there. Watu wa vitina pengine hawako mahali pale. Watu wa kutoa maneno kule wakitoa nje pengine hawapo. Watu wa kununuliwa wakitoa maneno pengine hawapo. And maybe things are being done in secret, so they don't know, but they want to know, so that they may also create another way or plan another plan. Maybe plan A, plan B, plan A is not working, plan B is not working, plan C is not working. They have to plan, because that is their services, that is their work, to attack. So it's either they attack physically, with the mouth, with insults, with other things, but if it is not working, then they will attack also with the birds. So physically, birds are seen, but the crows representing evilness, those birds that, especially the crows, they are used badly by occult people, because they represent darkness, evilness, and they also represent pain. And the demons, the spirits, can easily enter them and do queer things. So they are sent to such places to gather information spiritual. For someone somewhere is reviling the king with the thoughts and cursing the richness that is there. Ecclesiastes 10:20. That person who is planning evil is releasing poverty. Not just poverty, but heavy and powerful, a strong poverty spirit to the palace. So the spirit has to come from the palace, from up there. If the palace is attacked with the paralyzation, then the economy of the nation will also paralyze. It will fail. And this is a great plan, because Satan knows that 2027 is approaching. is just near here. So they have to paralyze the economy. They have to paralyze any outlet that might give help to the nation, because the nation was to be trampled down and nothing was to move. And they know very well, 2027 campaigns cannot be done without money. So money is the answer for everything. The ballot boxes, the ballot papers, the people who will do the services have to be paid. So if the nation is paralyzed without money, read Ecclesiastes 10:19, then we cannot earn a good living. So what will earn? We'll earn a good time. But the nation is not earning a good time. It's not earning a good time. It needs to earn a good living so that the people may live a good living, not with a good time. Because the good time won't help a nation, won't help anyone. You can have your own pleasure, your own leisure at your own time. But this is a very, very critical moment. So if the palace is struck with the poverty, then the whole kingdom, the whole nation will paralyze. To increase complaints, to increase fightings and quarrels, to increase poverty, to increase stagnations, to increase because this was not, whatever that is happening right now was not expected to go on. They expected the president or the king that is there to be a loser, to be a failure. But they did not expect whatever that is happening. So this is a planned thing. So the nation is not supposed to develop. The developments will have to stop. And then we'll have no campaigns because there will not be any money. Okay? And maybe we won't have elections because there won't be money to pay people. There won't be money to buy the ballot boxes or to the ballot papers. So things will paralyze. There will be no medicine for people to be treated with. And that's why the Lord wants you to go back to the herbals. Go back to the herbals. Just believe that you'll be okay by taking herbals, because it is the Lord's command. Long time ago, people used to use herbals, not there were no hospitals. So whatever that has been planned is more hatred spirit to be released. So it is going to grow up, especially from the president. The evilness wants the president to be hated completely so that he may come out with one term. But is it the Lord's election or is it man's election? Because the Lord's election is so much different. So you'll find that the supporters of the two-term will be influenced, will lose hope to surrender. They will give up to surrender because they lack money, they are suffering, they don't have food, they don't have clothes, the children are not learning, things are not moving, NGOs are not helping, other nations are blocked, they are not helping. So things are going to be more tough, more rough. So this is a spiritual war. Yes, it is a spiritual war. And we need to work on this. This is a total spiritual war. And yet salvation has to come. Revelation 19. Salvation has to come on land for Jesus to rule. Because if this will take over, then salvation will be deleted. People will go back to terrible sinning. Terrible sinning. And the terrible sinning will increase. And the Lord will get annoyed. Why? The book of Matthew tells us that when the owner of the vineyard comes and finds that nothing is being given, because the people have not been giving. Read Daniel chapter 9, verse 27. Satan stopped all the sacrifices and offerings and had to hold the church. So, whatever that was being given was not reaching God. And now the Lord wants everything to come back to normal. Salvation has to come. And salvation has to be at a high rate more than sinning. The people have to praise and worship, pray earnestly, fast earnestly. The people have to serve God in truth and in spirit. They have to be overjoyed. But if they don't do that, they don't give to God, they don't offer to God anymore, then the Bible tells us in the book of Mark, the vineyard will be taken away. And yet the Lord has given Kenya a vineyard. And that's why the covenant box and the testimony is in Kenya, might be taken away. And this is true. This is a spiritual war. Wake up the Melchizedeks, because the Levites are still sleeping. The Levites are in total deep sleep, because those are people who can decide to change. They can be influenced and they change anytime. Anytime. But remember, that's why the Lord is preparing. If you don't think twice and surrender to God, He's going to give you a president that will be like Manasseh. A president that will atawanyorosha ile proper more, and you'll regret, and even you'll think it's better if the former president could come back. So the sixth president, I don't know when he'll come back, when he'll be elected, but let us prepare earlier so that we pray and deny that sixth president who is coming to be like Amin Dada in Kenya. Take care of this, because if you don't listen, then the faith will go away. The faith will deteriorate and things will be more worse. Welcome.
Raymond biro kumora mara ema everywhere. Kata maka uono kiwacho wach mar wanga no. Kiwacho wach mar wanga no kata medho paya kumene dhiecha. Ohijore. Bidonga donga wi paya kacha. To mago to gigere imondo mon. National government. Wanga onge. Kado tiyo lakini onge power. Pod umanyo power. Wanga ne ng'at moro wuonde ni kodok iranir oburu to no dhi succeed. Amela oburu onge power. Unukia kwano ma wanga. Oburu kata kise jemoko nyalo kata mana we. Wanga miwinjo no. Gokwano makato buru mineno wuondore ni nigi wanga. Ok support. Wanga go pod kwano ni ya. Me ung'e ni wanga nigi geno ne party ne ni geno. Makaloma e chairman. Karini tuo slogan. Aya, kaya na slogan do en marna. Geno ok party. Geno era na slogan na kinyi. Bas, koro geno wan. Party wa en ODM no pe. ODM asel. Dia wane mawane koro uto maru ODM. Koro ODM asel. Okari ndo. Koro wano kwatamu. Bedura bede broad base. Nikech wang'e ujo donga age. Udhi to panu pesa uto wa. Unde ukao pesa. Udhi miel ne Ruto. 2027. Uloko godo maserikal lodging. Miel ne Ruto, miel. 2032. The broad base room e ground. wane mawadong watawala serikal mane to notamu kata serikal en serikal yes lakini